What's up, everybody? We're here to talk about our week 2 fan polls for the ACC football schedule. We got your fan votes here. We're going to talk through them. More importantly than that, we're going to talk about Barrett Carter and his comments about Clemson. Are they ready to really play this season or not?
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. I'm your host, Candace Cooper, joined by Kenton Gibbs of Locked On Wolfpack. Each and every day, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you download and subscribe to the pod. More importantly than that, make sure that you follow us on our YouTube page where you can hit the subscription button and have a good time. Listen, at the end of the day, we're all about having fun here on this show, and we always appreciate it when you guys talk to us because we certainly talk back. In today's episode, we're talking about our fan votes, the he said, she said, and then some Clemson news from Barrett Carter. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Absolutely. I'm ready to get into it because the fans beat us last week. But damn it, I want my get back. I want my restitution because the fans embarrassed both of us on national TV. I'm joking. This is only through the podcast, but still, we want our restitution. Me and Candace are gunning for you this week, listeners.
We're trying our best to get back right. We're only down one game, so I think we're not doing shabby. However, semicolon, comma, we can always do better. So let's get to it. All right. We got week 2 of ACC football. Week 1 was exciting enough. We saw some upsets. We saw some top 5 teams go down from ACC opponents. And it was just, a good time had by all. But what he said, she said, and the fans say is all fun and games until you're not winning in the polls. Let's start with Murray State and Louisville. Louisville team that's coming off that Georgia Tech win, now looking to get another dub against a good, decent Murray State team who is also 1-0. They'll play on Thursday at 7:30 on ACC Network.
Right, and what we have going for that game is the fans have voted 94% Louisville. So just a quick note there, 94% Louisville, 6% Murray State.
Well, all right, fans. I feel the vibes. All right, let's talk about Vanderbilt and Wake Forest.
Yeah, so Vanderbilt, Wake Forest, the battle of the nerds here. We got Wake Forest 69%, Vanderbilt 31%.
All right, Kenton. Sorry, let me go back. For Louisville, Murray State. Did you pick Louisville or Murray State?
Oh, I got Louisville. I for sure have Louisville winning that game. With all due respect, I don't think this one will be particularly close.
Yeah. All right, for Vandy and Wake Forest.
Wake Forest pulls off a game that I think Vandy keeps it close in the first half, but I just don't think they have any horses in the stable right now. So I think Wake Forest pulls away.
You think Wake Forest has enough horses in that stable, huh? Vandy, who is 2-0 right now. I'm going to go Vandy.
Okay.
I'm going to go Vandy. I feel like Wake Forest might get a little bit of a wake-up call, and they might be the first SEC team to take down an ACC opponent. Just saying.
I mean, if Wake Forest lets us down in that way, I'm not saying that you let the whole team down, but maybe you let the whole team down.
All right, let's talk about NC State and Notre Dame. I think this NC State team is strong. However, Notre Dame is not playing around. Familiar foe that NC State has seen in Sam Hartman and company. They looked fairly decent against that Navy squad, but anybody could look decent against that Navy squad. Right. What did the fans say here?
So the fans said overwhelmingly, we have Notre Dame being picked there. The percentage is 74% Notre Dame, 26% NC State.
How did that make you feel?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, it tracks. This Notre Dame team, their first 2 games, the combined score has been 98-6. 98-6. Mm-hmm. I also have Notre Dame in this game. As if you watch college football live, my prediction, my hot take for the season was that Notre Dame will get closer to the playoffs than Georgia will this year. So, that was, a lot of people did that face at me. But you know what? Drake Toll did the same face when he said that he cut off his toe with a rusty knife if Duke beats Clemson. And now look at him running around with 9 toes and a rusty knife missing up out of his closet. So, or out of his pantry, rather. Or where do you put your dishes? I don't know. Anyway, the reality is simple.
In the kitchen?
The kitchen, yes. The kitchen.
Kitchen counter, kitchen drawer.
Kitchen drawer. There we go. Kitchen drawer. I don't, I'm not good with these things. I don't handle those things in my household. But anyway, the reality is very
fries guy. I get it.
Exactly. So, the reality is, don't be surprised if NC State pulls off an upset here. Same thing I said about Duke. Don't be surprised. But if I had to put my money on it, I'd put my money on
Well, with the Peyton Wilson ACC Player of the Week, it is very likely that NC State could have a very strong defensive performance. They're familiar with Sam Hartman's game. Are they familiar with these receivers? Not necessarily, but we also know that Marcus Freeman, head coach at Notre Dame, is a pretty good defensive coach. So Brennan Armstrong is going to have to bring his best. I can't say that he did that during the UConn-NC State game. However, semicolon, comma, we can be positive and hope that things come out the best, but he's going to have a high-flying performance.
I mean, I don't just think it relies on him. That offensive line has to be immensely better. They weren't getting out schemed. They weren't getting, UConn's defensive coordinator wasn't drawing up some wacky blitzes where I'm like, hey, he one of them ones. That's just, they were getting home with 4. So what does that mean? You're winning one-on-one matchups a lot. And that's the case that happened. And so I'm looking at NC State's offensive line and I'm saying, if you put on that type of performance against Notre Dame, Brennan can rush 19 times against UConn and get up and be all right. Unless the plan is to see MJ Morris real quick. MJ Morris is the backup quarterback, for those of you who don't know. Mm-hmm. Unless the plan is to see MJ Morris real early, y'all better protect that man. You better protect the lucky lefty and let him do his thing.
The red-handed assassin is certainly going to need some protection. I'm going to go with NC State with an upset here.
Wow. Okay, you're just picking all the upset. You want to get back at the fans so bad.
Why not? Let's throw some things out there. I think NC State playing at home, having all of the energy to be great. There's nothing like an NC State on a noon game where everyone's going to be feeling it's hot. It's going to be in the trenches. You're going to have to earn this one. Yeah. Why not start out strong to get to 2-0? And why not the Wolfpack?
I mean, again, I could see this game going either way. I believe that this is a 3-point game. Both of my so if you listen to Locked On Wolfpack, we did a crossover episode that will be uploaded in the morning with Locked On Irish, and they both had a double-digit game in Notre Dame's favor. And I'm like, whoa. With all due respect, their receivers couldn't get open against the paper bag. So if Tennessee State can make it look like a game for a quarter and a half or so, not exactly sure.
As well.
Exactly. Okay. So, I got Notre Dame. I don't want to lie to anybody and say, I think NC State's dominates you. No, I think that this is a close game that Notre Dame just makes enough plays that they see that Sam Hartman difference. They see that one play that the previous quarterbacks they had might not have been able to pull off here.
All right, so that goes down on Saturday at 12 as well. Purdue and Virginia Tech. Before we have to pay some bills, let's talk about the Boilermakers and the Hokies. Mm-hmm. What do the fans say?
So, in this, I believe you meant Purdue, Syracuse, or
no, Purdue, Virginia Tech.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking ahead to week 3. I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry. The fans picked it 58% for Purdue, 42% for Virginia Tech. I don't know why I was looking at week 3.
I was going to say, it's very interesting how much love people are giving Virginia Tech here.
Really?
You think that they're not giving them a lot? That's kind of surprising to me, the way people view Virginia Tech. They must really don't.
Purdue just barely lost to Syracuse last year with Brom at the helm, and that was the guy that turned their program around and took them to these new heights and all that. He's gone now. Brom is now coaching Louisville. Hey, I love Coach Crowell. They got a Belleville product out there at Purdue balling, so more power to the Boilermakers. I got to go with the fans on this one. I think that Purdue takes it, although I, again, love me some Ollie Jennings. Love me some Virginia Tech. I think Purdue takes this one.
See, I'm going Virginia Tech here. I think that Virginia Tech is feeling the fire of week one. I think they're excited about what they've got in front of them. I think the offense is going to continue to build with Ollie and as the rest, some maybe that run game. But the defense certainly gave us some hope in the way that they were able to take down ODU. They let some go, of course, but I think that why not give it to the Hokies?
Candace, this is going to be a rough week for one of us. For one of us, this is going to be a rough week. One way or the other. One of us is going to come on this show crying and throwing up. And the other one of us, there will be some gloating. I can guarantee you that much.
But we're just trying to beat the fans at the end of the day.
And I hear you. And I will pick against the fans coming up very shortly here. Trust me. It's on the way.
All right. At the end of the day, let's pay some bills here just for a moment. I'm glad that you have no faith in me and what we're trying to do here, but it's fine. I'm used to it. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Then add your job, go to linkedin.com, add your job and purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile. Spread the word that you're hiring. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster and for free. Post your job right now at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. It's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. For a championship team, it's all about making sure every player is a perfect fit. It's the same when it comes to your vehicle. Every part needs to fit just right. So next time you need parts and accessories, head to eBay Motors. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you can be sure every part you need fits right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage and look for the green check to know the part will fit or your money back. Because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game, and you shop on eBay Motors. And with over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game in no time. After all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices on ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items, exclusions apply. We've got Holy Cross and Boston College here. Next team on the bill for week 2 of ACC football. Boston College coming off an embarrassing loss, but I wouldn't get too excited for Holy Cross. However, didn't think Northern Illinois was going to do it, and yet here we are.
Castellanos is going to be the starting quarterback, I would assume, going into this game. And if you know anything about the Castellanos in baseball, whenever he hits a home run, something bad is happening in the world. So I wouldn't be surprised if that hurricane that everybody is predicting does blow in from the Atlantic and hit North Carolina, because I think Castellanos is going to run wild all over this defense. Boston College info.
I agree. I picked Boston College as well. What did the fans say?
The fans also said Boston College to the tune of 97%.
What did they say about Northern Illinois? Wasn't it like 97% as well?
Northern Illinois wasn't 90%. It was 80-20.
Okay. All right. Somebody knew. Something 20%.
They knew something. That 20% knew something. They said, hey, hold on, big fella. Hold on. Let's have a talk.
Let's talk about JMU and UVA. Another interesting one where you can't just throw away JMU. UVA looked crazy against Tennessee like we knew they would. But can they feel it? They're going to make this one competitive at minimum.
I hate to say this, and people are going to look at me crazy. They're going to call me everything but a good Christian. The best team in Virginia wins this game. James Madison pulls off the upset.
I'm giving this to UVA. Here's why. I think UVA had the right tools defensively against Tennessee.
Right.
They could not move that ball offensively to save their lives. You go back to the drawing board. You have a heart-to-heart. You have a come to Jesus. You remember who your coach is and what he's been able to do on the national stage. And you say, listen, at bare minimum, we're going to get a touchdown or two. I don't think JMU's defense can hold it as well as Virginia's defense will be able to.
So, and here's the problem. Here's the problem. There was only one team in the nation that was better against the run last year than the James Madison Dukes. It was I believe their team name is like the Bulldogs or something. They play in I want to say Athens or Athena, some along those lines.
Yeah.
That some small school out there.
They might have won a championship. I don't know.
May have. I don't know. They were the only team that was better against the run in the entire nation than James Madison last year. And if you're telling me that I'm trusting Tony Musket for an arm Musket to beat this team through the air,
pull the collar. I don't know.
Not exactly sure. I think James Madison gets it done.
That's fair. South Carolina State versus Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in this one, our wonderful.
I'm sorry. Who did the fans pick for JMU UVA?
This is the one I went against the fans. 71% of the fans picked UVA. 29% James Madison.
Okay. All right, fans, we're back at it. Bet. Mm-hmm. South Carolina State, Georgia Tech.
Yep. So in this one, we got the fans 91% Georgia Tech, 9% South Carolina State.
Now, is it just because it's an HBCU or?
Don't do that. Don't do that. They did the same thing last week to Elon. Okay.
I think the Yellow Jackets got it covered. I'm not worried about them. The way they showed up for Louisville, I'm not worried about them. And the way South Carolina State did not show up against Jackson State, I feel good about this one.
Yeah, this is a South Carolina State team. I mean, their coach is off to a heck of a depressing farewell tour. You got two coaches on opposite ends of the spectrum here. One coach headed out the door after a 30-some-odd year storied career. Coach Key just getting rolling. This is Coach Key's first win as the full-time head coach in his first full year as a head coach.
Well, I think that the Yellow Jackets win it handedly. Get back on the horse. Let's make it 1-1.
Now, I wholeheartedly agree.
Let's move on to Charleston Southern and Clemson.
The fans must have heard something. They must have heard Barrett Carter's words and took it to heart. Don't get me wrong. Clemson is the overwhelming favorite by the fans, 89%. Okay. But I'm very shocked that last year's champion did not get a 90% nod because, mind you, we've seen this week. We've seen plenty of 90% nods. You know, Clemson got 89% to Charleston Southern's 11% in this one.
The fact that there's 11% of people that think there's going to be another upset is very embarrassing for the Tigers.
They're going to scold those boys. This is not going to be pretty. This is going to be one of those we're pissed off.
Team that played Clemson after that Duke upset. Hate it has to be them.
1,000%.
Texas A&M and Miami. Mm-hmm. Arguably the best game of the week. What do the fans say?
You sure about that? But the fans say 56% say Miami takes it in Hard Rock Stadium over Texas A&M.
Now, you know we have a very, very strong Hurricane base here at Locked On ACC. So It does not shock me not one iota that they have full faith in the Hurricanes over that.
No. Not at all. I mean, if you're shocked by that, you know, I can't remember where it's from, but there was a meme that said, "Are you shocked? Why are you shocked? Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked." You know, this is a situation where there are two teams coming in undefeated in their last game. Both teams dominated lesser opponents in their first game of the season. Texas A&M with New Mexico, Miami with Miami of Ohio. Here's the thing. Do I believe Dabo? I mean, not Dabo. Do I believe Jimbo? All of the bowls. Boy, I tell you, these bowls. Do I believe that Jimbo is on fraud alert? Absolutely. Jimbo is absolutely on fraud alert. But You know who else? You know who else may be on fraud alert if this game don't go the way they wanted to go?
Not Mario.
Oh, Mario.
Not
Dabo,
Mario.
Jimbo, Mario, all the O's, y'all.
But you know what it is for me, right? You saw Florida State take down LSU.
Yeah.
It's your brother. They were able to step up on a national stage and be a really good SEC team. You got to beat the ranked team too. You got to beat the Aggies. If you want to stand toe to toe, if you don't want to hear the junk talk, if you want to even give an inkling that you're back, Tyler and the boys going to have to show me something.
So I wanted to go Texas A&M.
Okay.
I wanted to go Texas A&M.
Uh-huh.
But I said, wait a minute now. I went SEC all last weekend and got my tail whooped. By those ACC teams playing the SEC.
You ain't finna make the same mistake twice.
Fool me one time, can't get fooled again. Okay.
You got a lot of faith in Miami.
I think, and here's the thing: this is going to be a huge game for Miami. I think that the fans pack out Hard Rock Stadium. I think Miami gets the job done at home, pulling off an upset against the top 25 team, in the vein of what we've already seen from some other ACC teams. Miami, don't you let me down. Don't you do it.
Reconsider. Sure, on the subject. Okay.
Who do you have in this game, Candace?
I have Miami.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to choose the squad every time.
Okay.
Every time.
All right.
Gametime is the place for last-minute ticket deals. For getting months in advance, Gametime has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. The Gametime guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find the tickets in the same section and for less, Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, Kenton. Here we are sitting with 5 games left. Mm-hmm. Western Michigan, Syracuse.
Yes, ma'am.
Can't count out Western Michigan. We've seen it before.
The fans have 91% say with Syracuse over Western Michigan.
They got fooled by that Colgate score, and they said Syracuse is back and better than ever, and so is Garrett Schrader. It's going to be closer than you think, but I gave it to Syracuse. I'm going to go Syracuse. What do you think?
I, too, go Syracuse here, but 91% is a little crazy.
Aggressive.
91% is a little crazy, and I'll say this.
Mm-hmm.
That Western Michigan team struggled with St. Francis last week. Now, listen, I don't know about you, but anytime I hear St. Francis, I think of a high school in Baltimore, okay?
Absolutely.
I'm not thinking of a college out there in Pennsylvania. So with that being said, I understand the fans' apprehension to believe that Western Michigan can pull off this upset. But what I will say is don't be surprised if this game lingers on close a little longer than you think.
The road to 6-0 for Syracuse it's looking better and better. They've been here before. They've been here before.
6-0 ain't enough. 6-0 ain't enough. You got to put a little stank on it this time. You got to put a little twang on it. Just getting there ain't enough.
App State, UNC. North Carolina coming off a big win. App State's been one of those teams that always seems to have their Achilles heel. No pun intended, but they're known to upset the Tar Heels. Can this defense not put up, 40 as they did last year in the fourth?
So
can it actually be a non-interesting game, a non-factor?
So the fans do not believe in the boys from Boone because they've got 72% say that UNC will beat App State.
There we go.
And I tend to agree with that 72%. I think the UNC's defense has improved. Their offense, to think that their offense was the one that showed problems and signs of cracking last game was kind of crazy. That's a little insane. But I think that they get it back on track this week and they dominate. They dominate the Mountaineers.
I think it's crazy that Drake looked very human in this game. He was lucky to have Copenhagen. He was lucky to have J.J. Jones. He was lucky to have, the British Brooks and Amari Hampton, the backfield. He got saved in many ways.
So, Ms. Cooper, can I ask you a question? Is Tez Walker going to play this year at all? Or?
The fact that they still haven't come down with the ruling is very scary. I think I don't know at this point if they're playing with the young man or what, but he's a critical component as a receiver for Drake May, but something about NCAA feels real spiteful right now. Right, y'all not gonna bully us into giving you what you want.
Interesting. I'm going to save my comments on the NCAA and UNC's relationship for another time. Let's keep it pushing.
Please do. Thank you so much. Lafayette and Duke.
This is another one of those after the upset. I'll tell you what, everybody is high on Duke. This is a 90% nod. This is a level 3 lock, as they would say.
That's
On
because they
lock.
haven't done their homework on Lafayette.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. And listen, love Lafayette. You know, one of my old teammates, Dylan Parham, graduated from there. Shout out to you, Dylan. This ain't going to be a good game for you to watch. This ain't going to be a good game. I'm sorry, Philip Parham, not Dylan. Dylan played at NC State. Philip was Cass Tech. Either way, Philip Parham graduated from Lafayette. You know, that's my guy. Duke takes this game. And, you know, I think that they start off slow because they still a little high from that. Hey, we just dominated Clemson. Sure. But they have more than enough talent to figure it out.
Absolutely. Who do you pick?
Oh, I got Duke.
Okay, easy. Me too.
Duke in 3.
Cincy and Pitt.
Cincinnati and Pitt is one of the games that was kind of interesting to me because, you know, I thought the Cincy was going to get more love than this, but Pitt gets a whopping 81% of the fan vote.
I think it's the loss of their head coach, him going to Wisconsin. I think that, you know, Cincy certainly is not the same team of old, not the G5 team that was able to go to the playoffs and all the things.
Well, they're not going to be G5 anymore coming up here.
I'm just saying they were the team. Like, they're not that same team with, like, that grit and that, like, want to.
Well, their head coach is an old ACC guy. We got the new fighting Satterfields. Y'all don't believe in the fighting Satterfields?
Hell no. Who do you got winning this?
I agree. I agree with the fans. I think Pitt and Molly whops them. I think that this game ain't too close.
All right. Well, the last but not least, Southern Miss versus FSU.
Yeah, so fans gave Southern Miss 15% here. Now, listen, I know that Frank Gore's son, you know, he's got that Miami blood running through his veins. And
yeah.
He's going to be running really hard for Southern Miss.
Right.
That ain't this and this ain't that. This Florida State team rolls. You know, this is going to be a pretty easy one for them. And like I said, the fans got 85% for Florida State. I'm rolling with the fans here.
I agree. I think that Florida State wins this one and wins it handedly, and it's not even close. Thanks for playing. Good try. See you next time. So, all in all, you know, we started out a little rocky, not on the same page. We came back together. You know, we came back with the fans and did all the things. So I'm happy with that. But you know what I'm not happy about? Let's end it on the high, maybe the low. Barrett Carter out of Clemson. My boy said after the Duke loss, I felt like we weren't in shape. I felt like I wasn't ready to go. I felt like now I'm getting in better shape. I understand the game. And as someone who has done media training as a football player and, you know, speaks to the media availability and all the things, I think one of the worst things you can do is kind of reveal too much, right? I think you keep it very stoic, especially after a loss like that. Everyone in media is looking for a reason as to why you guys are becoming unraveled. Barrett Carter didn't get that lesson in his media training, and now he's paying a little bit of the price. Go ahead.
I was trying to control my face because this makes me...
It's cringy a little bit. Hate it for him. Hate it had to be him.
And I hate... I'm glad that you stepped in for me because I hate having dead air, but I was about to say something that will make us lose our clean rate and our monetization. My brother in Christ, conditioning is between you and you. There are many things in football that you cannot control.
Yeah.
You do not have direct control over how big and strong you are. That's just the reality. Like there's certain things your body just ain't meant to do, your body just isn't meant for. You can't control how fast you are. I could have went to every speed trainer in the world from the moment I was born up until playing college football. I was never going to run as fast as Chris Johnson. It was never going to be me. And for me to be so delusional as to believe that, you know, that's a problem.
Right.
Conditioning is something that you take upon yourself. Yes, your strength conditioning coaches should be getting you ready to go. But conditioning is something that you as a player need to take upon yourself to say, I control this. Same way with film study. I control this. This is me right here. Nobody has as big of an impact on this as I do. And I'll say this. He said that, they were going to be better about getting in shape this next week. Candace, when was the Orange Bowl ever played? Do you have that date for me?
No, and I don't know why you would ask me that.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that the 2023 Orange Bowl was played sometime in January. Can we agree to that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you had, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It was not in January. It was December 30th. You had from December 30th to the first week of September to get ready, to get in game shape.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not there. And you think that December 30th to first week of September, that's not enough time. But first week of September to this weekend is what, the 9th? The 9th of September? To the 9th of September, you'll figure it out. You'll get it together.
Things are unraveling for Clemson, right? This is a team that didn't go in the transfer portal, didn't dip their toe at all, certainly are not trying to, adhere to what the new age college football scheme looks like. And now you're telling me that you're not in shape, and you brought in a new offensive coordinator that you're saying is we're trying to get him to just follow what we already do and not be himself. That's a red flag. We're trying to tell us strength and conditioning coaches that they're just doing what Clemson knows of old, but it's clearly not something that your players can handle or feel like they're equipped to go through a season with. That's another red flag. And then you just have Dabo saying things like he's never seen games like these. There's a lot of red flags. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you this: winning in football is like love in the good book. They say love covers over a multitude of sins, but so does winning.
Yeah.
So does winning. And the reality is, when you start winning, or I'm sorry, not when you start winning, because Clemson's been doing that for a while. When you win, everything's good, everything's perfect.
Yeah.
When you start losing, the ice ain't as cold, the jokes ain't as funny, the meat ain't as good, the food ain't as good, your old lady don't look as pretty. Nothing is as good when you are losing. And all of a sudden, I was in the minority telling people about Dabo in the past and saying, hey, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with how hard he's fighting against players getting paid. There's something that ain't right here. There's something that just ain't clicking here. Hey, his comments about certain things outside of football have been very concerning, dealing with multiple things that deal with these players' personal lives in particular. There's something wrong here.
Yeah.
And people told me, oh, you don't know. Oh, they've got championships. You don't have championships. And now all of a sudden, everybody's looking at this program and sifting through it with a fine-tooth comb because they started losing.
Not even just losing. They lost to Duke football.
Not losing to Duke football. They got no mossed by Duke football. Hey, ref, I'm tapping out. Get me out of here to Duke football.
Yeah.
But like I said to Drake Toll, which I'll say to Locked On ACC fan, this ain't your father's Duke football.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. This might be back to our old Clemson ways of Clemsoning and like the Clemson teams that we just felt like nothing was going to shake.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I'll leave it right here. All of these stories coming out of Clemson are a result of losing. Anytime you lose, all of these stories pop up. I don't think that Clemson is a different program or team than they've been in the past. I just think that the rest of the league and the rest of the nation may have possibly caught up. And when you're not moving forward, when you're not moving forward and progressing, de facto, if everybody else is catching up, what's happening? You're losing ground. You're de facto moving backwards.
You're either getting better or getting worse. There's no maintain.
Exactly.
There's no maintain. That's very nice. It wrapped a little bow. And as we prepare through the rest of the week, we definitely have to give you some of our, quick hits, comments that we're going to read from our YouTube pages, as well as just getting you ready for what will be a great and exciting time for ACC football, kicking off with Louisville and Murray State all the way through the weekend. So make sure you check all of our games out, our instant reactions, all that fun stuff. We got to get out of here, though. We got to get you coming back for more. So make sure you lock in as we give you some content. We're reading through comments tomorrow for Candace Cooper and Kenton Gibbs. Until next time.